Roch Kubatko with us this morning. What do you take in when you're watching these roller coaster games?
I'm thinking I need those stats. Can I borrow those for later?
Yeah, we will get them
That
for
was
you.
good stuff. I mean, I would have known that really without looking at the numbers, just that feel you have as a sports writer, because, and it was started last year where you think, all right, your story's done, and all of a sudden the Orioles are rallying, 6th, 7th, 8th inning, whatever, and you're doing these major rewrites, and it's continuing now this year. You know, they were down 8-1 recently, and I'm like, all right, there's an 8-1 loss, and they scored, what, 5 runs in the 9th? There's a grand slam by Cedric Mullins. I'm like, well, I need to mention that higher up in the story now, clearly. And so we're, you know, the running joke was always right from the top whenever they'd fall behind early during those lean years, because there was not going to be a comeback. You could just go ahead, whatever leads you put on your story, it held up. Now I jokingly said it when they were down 4-0 the other day, right from the top, fellas, and all of a sudden it was 4-3, tied, they took the lead, they won it. There's no more writing from the top. But as Brandon Hyde says, though, it's also okay to win by a lot. He would like to do that every once in a while.
You would, and I think we're grateful that you have a computer and not a typewriter, or we're going to go through a lot of whiteout for this. But Ryan Mountcastle in particular, you talk about some ups and downs. This guy feels like he's squaring everything up, and then it seems like every defender is a magnet to what he's putting in play. This was one in particular on Thursday that was just a particular soul crusher as Kerry Carpenter went up and absolutely robbed this one. Those new lower outfield walls, Mountie can't believe it. Here's what he said this morning about the luck he's run into.
Got 140 left, so hopefully they'll start falling, you know, between then.
They lowered the walls here in the outfield so these guys could make some bigger plays. Did you watch in full Kerry going up for that and what went through? I mean, he looked like he almost dislocated his shoulder.
Yeah, no, I mean, hopefully he's all right. But yeah, right when I hit it, I saw him looking at it like he wanted to catch it really bad, and just had a feeling he probably would, just how it's going. And yeah, he came down with it. Sick catch, but you know, unfortunately, you know, it wasn't a hit.
Well, and unfortunately for Kerry Carpenter, he was, as we finished that interview, placed on the IL for the Tigers, of course, retroactive, but 10 days with a right shoulder sprain. So wishing that he comes back quickly. Mountcastle might tell him, you know, he can take at least the next 3 days to not see him. But what have you seen a guy like this that just runs into these kind of numbers?
No, and it's constant. He joked about it, but it's true. You could do a SportsCenter top 10 robbing Ryan segment, because there are so many, whether it's the left field wall at Camden Yards or something like that happens. And after the game, somebody said, yeah, you know, the guy dislocates his shoulder, still makes the catch. I mean, Ryan just cannot catch a break. And, you know, he's got that trademark grin, but you know it's frustrating. And you see him a lot of times rounding first base, and, you know, it's becoming a meme or whatever with it, you know, where he's just looking up like, why me again? And then you look at the numbers. I'm not a huge expected batting average guy, but it does really tell the whole story with Ryan. He's batting .229 right now with a .438 slugging percentage. The expected batting average is .304 with a .598 slugging percentage. So clearly, and this was happening last year as well, his numbers should be a lot better. And they keep saying, oh, it evens out at the end. But when? And he's got like a 93.4 exit velocity average. That's the highest of his career. 48.8 hard hit percentage, high of his career. And what's he got to show for it right now? Now, one key was Thursday night, and it wasn't Friday. I was getting my days mixed up this morning in the blog.
To the best of us.
It was Thursday. He did draw a walk in the 7th inning before the Santander home run. Only his 4th of the season, his first since April 7th. So maybe he needs to just like be more patient, draw more walks, get on base, and stop barreling up every ball, because he's not getting on base with those.
Yeah, we joked with Brandon Hyde about that, and of course you'll get to hear from our skip a little later on. Now, Austin Hayes, we talk about bad luck. He, believe it or not, ran into some good luck when he ultimately took a hit by pitch. It was an interesting scenario. This has been a big discussion for us, coming up to square off this bunt, and fortunately it was not a fractured or broken finger, but Brandon Hyde did say it was very deeply bruised. It was unfortunate for Hayes. He's had to miss a couple days, but missing the IL, I mean, it does seem like this might be a little bit avoidable, but again, still lucky that they're going to get to keep him.
Yeah, he said he didn't dodge the pitch, but he dodged a bullet there, because that really is a way to fracture your finger. And he said, you know, it was bad luck that he was trying to bunt for a hit. It was a sinker. He lowered the barrel, the pitch dropped, and that's where it caught him on the finger. And he said if he had positioned his hand a little differently, it just would have hit him in another spot. I was wondering if he had the fingers wrapped around the barrel, maybe that's what caused it. He insisted it was more bad luck and it wasn't the positioning of the hand. I just remember, and older fans remember Luis Matos, center fielder, that fractured a finger when he had his whole hand wrapped around it trying to lay down a bunt many years ago. So it could have been a lot worse. And, you know, he said he would have been a game-time decision yesterday, he hit, if they had played, but probably not in the lineup. Getting that day off, he's ready today. But it is gnarly looking, and it is sore. He's just going to play through it.
He's one of the grittiest guys, but you know what they say, Roch, sinkers or stinkers.
They do say that should be a T-shirt. Right?
We're going to run to the T-shirt press after this, Roch.